He's back. He's back. Like Voldemort in the Order of the Phoenix, even though he came back before that. Like Michael Jordan, unretiring from the NBA, he's back. Trinidad Chambliss will return, unless something changes. I don't think it will. It looks like this is like the final ruling. This was supposed to be the day that we've been waiting for quite a while that I told you about last week if you were tuned in to the show. And Trinidad Chambliss returns. So this is kind of hilarious, honestly. And given the information that's been presented and also how this ended, I think the right decision ultimately was made, even though I'm a guy as a general rule that doesn't want to see every player get a 6th, 7th, 8th year of eligibility. Looks like Trinidad Chambliss is on pretty solid ground because of the injuries he's suffered in the past. And the judge agreed, even though the NCAA denied his appeal to appeal the denial of, all that doesn't matter because what you can often do, as players have found in college sports, there's a linebacker at Montana who's getting a 9th year of eligibility. Couple injury seasons, COVID year in there, he's coming back. Don't know if he's going with his coach or if that's, I guess it would be allowed since his coach left and Montana players could enter the portal. Maybe he winds up at Illinois. I don't know. Bobby Hauck's the defensive coordinator at Illinois. If you missed it, I talked about it on a recent episode of the show. Anyway, Trinidad Chambliss is back. And this puts Ole Miss right into the national title discussion. And it's crazy that it's transpired like this. It's not the first time, though. It's not the first time that the NCAA has been taken to the woodshed in the courtroom because they said no, and then they said, no, we won't reconsider after we said no, and a judge said, yeah, you're wrong, he gets to play. Not the first time that this has happened. The NCAA doesn't have a 0% win rate, but boy, it's not very high. They're not going into the Hall of Fame with this rate of victories in the courtroom. So it was so apparently not close. This is my favorite part of the entire discussion, all the drama, everything that's unfolded. My favorite part about this happened on Thursday. First of all, the live tweet play-by-play that was taking place from a myriad of national reporters was incredible. Secondly, it was so lopsided that apparently the NCAA's lawyers left the courtroom before the verdict was rendered because they knew they were toast. So if you're someone that has a qualm or an issue with Chambliss getting this extra year, I get it. I'm just telling you, there's no legal standing there because they walked out. They rage quit. They got down 4-0 in the first half in a game of FIFA, and they rage quit and left the lobby. One of the most incredible things I have heard in all of these legal matters. And now they're going to go try and figure out the Joey Aguilar case and try to stop him from playing another year of college football. I think the Vols are much more well suited to have less of a drop-off if Aguilar doesn't return than Ole Miss was. I mean, this is literally a national title altering move in college football, and it happened in a courtroom. But Chambliss is back, and he's going to be one of the Heisman favorites, and he's going to be able to lead Ole Miss as far as that. They were one drive from the national title game. They needed one stop from their defense, one, and they would have played for a national championship. No reason that can't happen again. If you don't believe me, believe Locked On Ole Miss host Steven Willis.
Trinidad Chambliss was cleared today by Judge Whitwell in Calhoun County, Mississippi, granting him a 6th year of eligibility and a 4th year of competitive football after it was judged by the judge that the NCAA ignored their own bylaws and acted in bad faith against Trinidad Chambliss. It was like an hour and 15-minute long read of a verdict. It's basically an appeal-proof verdict as well. So Trinidad Chambliss is going to be the starting quarterback for the Ole Miss Rebels in 2026. So what does that mean? What does that mean for Ole Miss? That means that Ole Miss has the best quarterback potentially in the country, at least in the argument for it. He finished 8th in the Heisman Trophy last year with no promotion for it. The best running back in the country with Kewan Lacey, a finalist for the Doak Walker Award a year ago, and everybody saw Lucas Carnero in the Sugar Bowl for Ole Miss. So one thing that is very interesting is this is a top 5 team coming back for the Ole Miss Rebels, and they are ready to compete. It's one of those things like, look it up. Where is the national championship game? And that is a legitimate conversation. Now, the schedule for Ole Miss in 2026 is going to be tougher than it was for Ole Miss in 2025. It is. But Ole Miss in 2025 is going to be a worse team than they are for 2026, with a better defense and positions being acquired and retained to make a run. This roster talent is pretty special, pretty close to the 2024 list that was recruited for Lane Kiffin and those guys before they didn't make the playoffs. This was a big day. And if that judge's verdict reading would have gone on for 15 or so more minutes, I mean, he might have broke down the whole NCAA as far as problematic rulings by that organization's bad faith, not taking care of the student athletes. It was basically a list of grievances that you almost could not even dream up. And Calhoun County, Pittsboro, Mississippi will always be a place that holds a special place in the hearts of Ole Miss Rebel fans because of today's eligibility hearing where Trinidad Chambliss will get his 6th year. National championship season reloading. We'll see how it goes.
Fun fact, just because I know people love getting a little peek behind the curtain, Steven emailed me that video for my show, which I, of course, appreciate him doing because we want to hear from the man himself, and we'll talk to him next week on the show. He emailed it to me with the tagline, "This might need some editing, LOL." Well, he wasn't wrong. He also wasn't wrong that Chambliss would likely be Ole Miss's quarterback this year. So Deuce Knight can sit and wait. Chambliss is there, and Rebels fans feeling pretty good in Oxford. I cannot wait for Lane Kiffin's return trip. Cannot wait. I tell you what I can wait for, and hope I actually hope I don't have to wait for what I'm talking about next.